I'm going to share 12 very brief explanations of what depression really feels like. Today is World Mental Health Day, and the goal of World Mental Health Day is that more people who suffer from depression seek and get the help they deserve. So today I want to talk about depression not in a sappy way, but in an honest, raw way that illustrates the reality of this mental disorder. For those of you who do suffer from depression, I want to show you that you are not alone, and that there are tons of people out there who are ready to talk about this. For those of you who feel like you don't understand depression beyond feeling like just super sad, I hope that with the help of the community that I've gathered behind the scenes of this video, we can help you understand depression for what it is. A common mental health disorder that can greatly impact people's lives and ability to carry out even the most basic of tasks. At its worst, depression can lead to suicide. But the message I'm spreading today is not sad. It's actually extremely inspiring. Talking about depression in this way helps to overcome the stigma surrounding depression and lead to more people getting help. So I made a public post on Facebook asking if anyone had thoughts they wanted to share that I could include in this video. Within 2 hours, I had more than a dozen comments and messages from people sharing their genuine thoughts on what depression feels like. I honestly posted this on a complete whim. This video was going to go in a whole nother direction, but the response blew me away and completely changed my course of action. It also reminded me how every time I open up a discussion about mental health, people just start talking. It's amazing, it's crazy inspiring, and it really makes me feel like the stigma surrounding depression is going to change and that we can keep this mental health dialogue rolling. So I'm going to share 12 very brief explanations of what depression really feels like. First off is my own story, and you guys have heard a lot of it, so I'll keep it really short, but I struggled with depression throughout my life. I have memories of debilitating depressive episodes happening in very inconvenient places like middle school classrooms, college dorm rooms, in the stockroom of the retail job I used to work at, and on international flights. Sometimes it feels like it comes from nothing, and sometimes it's big life changes that have caused a ridiculous amount of anxiety and led me into a spiral of depression. So what does my depression actually look like in those situations? It looks like teary eyes for no reason that turn into sobbing, feeling hopeless and empty and heavy, questioning the purpose of everything down to the core of just being alive, looking inward on myself and feeling absolutely nothing, feeling no motivation, feeling no sense of control over my own productivity, and feeling apathetic about everything, including things I'm normally really passionate about. But I know I'm not alone. Zach says, depression can make you feel like a burden, so it becomes hard to express depression to people you're close to. It's weird how open I can be about personal problems to strangers, yet at the same time hiding feelings and problems from friends and family. Mary Gray says, a heavy weight on my chest. I feel hopeless, like nothing I do matters. Emily says, depression is waking up as drained as you were when you decided to try sleeping. It's trying to read a book on the bus and instead staring at the same page for the majority of the ride because you're lost in a rabbit hole of voices that keep you worried and defeated. Kevin says, depression to me is a numbing feeling. Nothing excites you like it once did, and you feel like you've lost a piece of yourself. Jess says, I feel like this a lot of the time when I'm depressed. And she shared this photo. And this. And she shared this other photo. And she said there's a lot of unnecessary guilt and the illusion of being a burden. Leah says, depression feels like unending sleep. The constant feeling of being in slow motion. When others are talking, there's only a buzzing noise because your brain doesn't feel like it's working and can't comprehend words. Melanie says, feeling empty inside, feeling worthless, having no pleasure in doing stuff I used to be so passionate about. Brandy says, being happy to go to bed and dreading waking up. Michelle says, my depression leads into anxiety. I'm extra sensitive and I feel like a burden on loved ones. There's a lot of shame and fear of judgment, especially as a new mom. Alessandra says, knowing I have the ability to do things that I'm not doing and blaming myself for my lack of will. And finally, Monica says, It feels like a void in the space where normal thought and contentment should be. An itch that can't be scratched by simply being positive. Hopefully hearing these 12 stories has inspired you, comforted you, opened your eyes to something you didn't understand before, or simply made you realize that you are so far from being alone. So how do we treat depression? Because the point of this discussion is to lead more people into seeking and getting the help that they deserve. First of all, talking with people you trust can be a great first step to recovery. And from there, there, treatment involves therapy, medication, or both. So back in August, right after a really difficult struggle with depression for what seemed like no reason, I decided it was time. It was time to seek outside help. I was done just talking online and talking to people, because that is a really great step to recovery, but it is really important to get that next step towards professional help. So I started using a website called BetterHelp, which is an online counseling website. And I love it. I've been talking to my counselor on there at least once a week, if not like 3-4 times a week, since I first signed up. It's really helped me to process my feelings and learn how to process my everyday experiences in a really healthy way that can lead me towards living a better life. So last month, when BetterHelp reached out to me and asked if I was interested in working with them, I freaked out because I already use BetterHelp. I love it. I want to share it with you guys. So I am so excited to tell you that this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online counseling website where you can find more affordable counseling without even having to leave your home. That was the ticket for me. I really needed something that I could do remotely. I was just struggling to make that first move of going into a therapist's office. And it was really crazy to me how it all started so fast, because you actually get paired up with a therapist within 24 hours of creating your account. So when you first sign up, and I'm gonna have a little graphic right here so you can see what it looks like, you start with a questionnaire, and then the algorithm will pick the therapist that it thinks is the best for you. If you don't like the therapist that it's matched you with for literally any reason, you can change. It's super easy to change. In that questionnaire, you can also choose specifications for your therapist. So if you want them to be female, male, LGBTQ friendly, religious, non-religious, whatever. There's a lot of options on there. BetterHelp goes to great lengths to connect you with a therapist you feel comfortable with and who will best understand what you're going through. The therapist the algorithm matched me up with when I first signed up is actually still the therapist I have today, and she's awesome. You can schedule as many counseling sessions as your therapist's schedule allows, and that can be video chatting or over the phone. And in between sessions, or in place of sessions, if you're like me and you just don't want to be on camera, you can text or email them as often as you'd like. And there's an app too that makes it really easy. So I've been at work and been stressed out, and I'll like go on my phone and like send my therapist a message, and it totally feels like a weight lifted off my chest. Plans start at $35 a week, which is way more affordable than traditional counseling. So if you are struggling with depression or some other mental issue that is preventing you from living your best life, I really encourage you to check out BetterHelp. I have a link below, of course. I always have links below, and it is an affiliate link, okay? Just being very clear about that. But I would not recommend anything to you guys that I did not honestly use myself and love. Yeah, this was a no-brainer to work with BetterHelp. I started using it before they asked me. I still use it today, and I still love it. It's changed my life in ways that I didn't even expect, and I need to stop. Other than that, if you want to participate in the healthier discussion surrounding mental health, use the hashtag Let's Talk. Throughout today, which is, again, like I said earlier in this video, World Mental Health Day, me and many others online will be starting discussions of all kinds about mental health. So let's start talking, let's squash the stupid stigma surrounding mental health issues, and let's live our best lives. Thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon. Okay, bye!